Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Kim here, and today is a boxing up of one of my Thriftees choices of items, and this is for Wanda. Wanda has been a Thriftee with me for a few times now. And if you want information on what a Thriftee is and how to become a Thriftee, I have that listed in the video description below. You just have to click on the where it says more, and that will do a drop down menu, and you'll get all kinds of information there. And that will take you to a video that you go and watch to see how to become a Thriftee. And you would leave your name or your comments about being a Thriftee on that video. Not here, not on this video. Leave that comment on that video if you are interested in becoming a Thriftee. The Thriftees there is a waiting list. I'm not starting up again till January, so I won't be going through the list until January. But this will at least give you an idea of the kinds of stuff that you get in a box. Wanda gets to choose whatever she wants. I have offerings in both the Thrifty Canucks videos when I go thrifting, and I also have offerings in what's called a destash video, where I show a bunch of items that the Thriftees can pick what they want if they want to add it to their box. So a box can be filled in as little as a month, which some of them are proving they can do. And then it could take 3, 4, 5 months, depending on how choosy you are, and if my stuff appeals to you and if it's the right color for you, yada yada yada. Anyway, let's see what she picked. So yes, it's overflowing as always. Now she chose one of the placemats that I got. This is kind of a red and kind of a navy blue, almost like an indigo blue. A little bit of purple in here, but a lovely pattern to further enhance for journal cover making. You'll get at least 2 out of here. I always recommend that you build it up and have it a little bit thicker with other fabric and layers underneath, because then it gives you something a little bit more substantial. Recently I did a destash where I offered the Thriftees a package of mixed Monopoly money, game pieces. There's some deeds to properties. Look at that. I've given you Ventnor Avenue, Pacific Avenue. I even gave you the electric company and a railroad. And then I gave you some hell money on top of that, added some of that in there, and just different tickets and things, all related to games. And then these tickets here are an older vintage ticket. Love the color of this. So there's quite a few of them there. And I don't remember if it's 50, 75 pieces. I don't remember anymore. I forget these amounts because I go through so much stuff with my Thriftees. So you can do the math yourself. I also offered a little packet of these little colored individual tickets. I have been collecting these tickets for years. So I've got purple, orange, mixed colors here, green. So I just kind of went eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and gave everybody a stack of tickets if they wanted them. And these are fun for those little tuck spots when you want to tuck something into, like a tiered tuck thing where you have the smallest pocket at the bottom. They fit perfectly in there. They're also great for making tabs on the side of your page. I will often put them just one by itself on the side. Let me just show you what it looks like in case you haven't done this before. I do the same thing with playing cards, but I will just, glue it or stitch it or, staple it if you want to the side of the page, and it becomes a nice fun tab to add onto your journals. So it's just another way to use them. You can make clusters and snippets and embellishments with them. So there's a little packet of those. I don't remember how many. At one time I had a couple of rolls of ribbon, and I was showing them. One had pineapples on it. She only took this one. One had pineapples, one had the flowers. In the video, I said I can give everybody about 20 inches, but my math was way out when I was calculating how many yards there were on the rule. So, Wanda, I was able to give you a yard of this ribbon. This is great for making belly bands, pockets, all kinds of fun things. Again, embellishments and snippets. I do take the wire out, but I don't take it out for cutting. So, Wanda, just be careful when you're opening this. There is a wire. So I'll add that there. I recently offered a bag of vintage buttons. It's just a mixed batch of buttons and lots of fun goodies in here. I like this one with the rhinestone. Love the pearl ones, the iridescent pearl. So fun stuff. This is a masculine, it was a small masculine ephemera packet. I had made these a long time ago and I had quite a stack of them left over. And so I offered them to my Thriftees. And then when everything was said and done, I also offered a last chance where I offered them again. And so people were taking them. So she got one of those. And it's just a mix of different, there's some stamps, there's some Tim Holtz figures in here, there's an authentic pay stub in here, there's some Hell Money again, an airmail envelope. There's about 40 pieces, I think, in here, or 50 pieces. There's some vintage images, just a fun collection. It could be used for steampunk or a masculine type journal or, a vintage men's journal, that type of thing. Thread there. A package of napkins. She chose, this was again an extra set. So what I did is after everybody was said and done with all the things that I offered, the whole pile went into another pile and then I offered last chance. Sometimes I only had one or two of the item left over. So this gave the person a chance if they wanted to have a second set of something. In this case, it was a set of 10 napkins. This came from a recent Thriftee purchase, and it was at one time a Paris style bed sheet. It was only a twin sheet, so I had to make very small pieces with this, but it's big enough to do a journal cover easily or use for a lining, or you can cut it up again to use in little bits and pieces. I also offered some of this textured paper. This was offcuts from another project that I was doing. And so I had quite a stack of them and I just divvied them up. I think there's 8 pieces in here. They are a combination of some, there's clocks. I know it's hard to see in this picture. There's clocks. There's this kind of a geometric pattern. There's kind of a damask and some checkers, diamonds. And again, just different patterns. And this is paper. I think this came from Graphics 45. And you just take some sandpaper or an emery board and you just very lightly sand over where this is embossed, and it will bring the picture out because the core is, I think the core is the opposite color on the other side. So that's what you will see coming through here. I think, I don't think I've actually even worked with this stuff, honestly. So the core in this case, I think it looks like the core is white. Like I'm just going by what I see on the edge here. So it might be a white or a cream color that shows through. But they're fun papers, but I just haven't worked with them. I did offer a set of filters, coffee filters, tea filters. I'm just going to quickly show you. And then I also had some round filters. I tell these stories, but I don't know who actually listens to me when I'm telling these things. But I had a friend who was actually a vacuum cleaner salesperson. She did very, very well, extremely well. She is such a bizarre person that I think people had no choice but to buy a vacuum from her. She was that kind of person. So she did very well, but she went on to another job because that was just her personality. Everything was very short-lived. Even though she did fantastic and sold a lot of vacuums, she went on to another job. And then a couple months after she had quit that vacuum job, she came in my shop and she said, I forgot to turn in all the filters that she uses to demonstrate with the vacuum, and she had a big box of them, and so she gave them all to me, and so now I'm sharing them. But they are like a, they're like a coffee filter, but these would be great to stitch on and embellish. These also take well to ink staining and dyeing. They're same with the coffee filters, and coffee filters make really fantastic die cut flowers. If you want to take your die cut machine and play around with these and then do some inking and some, add some glitter and, scrunch them up and do all kinds of fun things too, you'd be amazed, because these take to water because they're filters. They're for coffee and tea. Now, these ones are little bags. Of course, they're little tea bags. But the coffee filters, they take to water. So you can do just about anything to them. They're not going to fall apart. So I suggest, if you have coffee filters, go through your stash and try die cutting them. You'll be pleasantly surprised with the things that you can do with them. And they don't fall apart. They don't crumple and tear. So she got those. Then she also chose the Midas Touch fabric kit. Now, I'm not going to go into big details with that. I've shown it in a video. If you go back and look on the video, you'll see it. There's bling, there's pearls, there's sequins, there's beads, there's some tassels, there's some sari trim in here, a really nice piece of sari trim. There's some tulle. There's cotton fabrics for making lining on your journals. There is a journal cover in here. This is the most beautiful fabric to work with. I love, love, love this fabric. I don't have any of these kits left. They are gone, gone, gone. So she will get to enjoy this. And I will have to come up with some other ones that are similar, but I've got some other plans very soon. So with this kit, at the same time that I offered this kit was right about when the jewelry heist in Paris came up, and they talked about the crown jewels. And I know I sound like a broken record for you guys that watch all my videos all the time. Sorry about that, but that's how it is. So because the crown jewels was such a big thing in Paris and there was so much news about it, I thought, the gold kit needs a crown jewel to go with it. And now Sharon hasn't gotten her kit, but she also chose aquamarine. So what I did is I offered everybody to choose a color of jewel that they would like to go with it. Not real jewels, but something to go with it that would represent, jewel colors that they would like to work with their gold, so that they can further enhance this color. And so Wanda chose the aquamarine. Now, Sharon, you will get aquamarine too in yours, but yours may be a little bit different from what I put, because I just go through my stuff. I kind of have a plan of what I'm supposed to give you. And if I don't have one, then I have the other, and vice versa. So every time it's a surprise. So I'm not going to open this up so you can see everything, but you will see and recognize things in yours when you get yours too. So yeah, she got this fun package of aquamarine colored items. There are some dangles and jewels and those type of things. There's sequins, beads, flowers, ribbon, tulle, that kind of stuff. So I think that's a nice, fun choice. And we'll see how she does with all the other things that she's picked out. She's got this nautical print here, so that's kind of fun too. But I'm sure we're going to come across some other things of hers that match and complement. She chose the this is foil. It is heat stamping foil. So if you have a heat stamping press, this is what you would use to make words on cards, all that kind of stuff. You need like a sort of a laminating press. I don't know exactly what the tool is. I don't have it, but I offer this, and I tell you that if you use your Aleene's glue or your glitter glue or a glue stick, wherever you place the glue, and I will do a demonstration again later on in future videos, but wherever you place the glue, you press this down and the foil will stick to it. You have to let it dry, and then you peel up the foil, the plastic, and the foil will stick to it. It really adds a nice complement to your, actually I have one here, I think. Did I do one? No, I didn't. It's in another book. It does add, a mixed media distressed look to your pages. Great for steampunk and Midas touch. Now the foil comes in two colors. This kind of a bronzy gold color, and then this is a flat gold, which is equally nice. Now they are long sheets. I have folded them in half, so they are about 16 inches wide. And I lay the two rolls on my freezer, and I just pulled across the whole freezer and did a huge length of this. And believe me, there is lots here. It's very, very fine film. So this film, if anybody wants this, if you have to live in Canada though, I will cut you some. I will be happy to do an exchange with you. I'm always looking for bulldog clips, sequins, seed beads, sequins being the ones that you can bead, so not the shaker kind. But if ever you want to do a trade, just message me and we can arrange something. And this will fit in an envelope, so just like a little envelope exchange if you want some of this foil. And I will show how to use this, because I have two huge rolls that in my lifetime I would never even get it down to half. I know that. So I'm so happy to share and exchange with people if you want it. But this will be great again to use with her stuff. Lots of words. Okay, this, I'm not going to take it out of the bag. I know Anne got hers and she said, oh yeah, you weren't kidding. This is, I'll just open the bag here. It is a fun fur fabric. They are circles. You see the black in between. It's kind of a translucent, or like you can see through it. It's like a mesh. So it would definitely need something underneath it. Now, when I cut these, of course, it's hit and miss. You're going to cut through the fur. You're going to cut some fur. So it does have a little bit of fluffy stuff coming off when you take it out of the bag and before you've actually started working with it. But once you put it onto a journal cover or whatever it is you're making and, glue everything down, you're not going to have a problem with it pulling off. It's just around the edges. So yeah, it will come off. If you've ever worked with fun fur before, you know what that stuff is like, and it it gets up your nose and it gets onto everything. By the time I was finished cutting all this for everybody, I thought I had a pink cat living with me because I had it everywhere. Thank goodness it was in the basement. So I made a big mess all over my freezer. I had to vacuum for about an hour afterwards, but it's not bad in a smaller piece when you're only working with one piece. But she chose the pink. And it is fun. It's beautiful fabric, and it will make a gorgeous, you'll get at least 2 covers out of that. This is a mix mash of things here because sometimes I bag things together when I'm gathering stuff for them. Again, I know I sound like a broken record when I talk about this stuff, but this was a huge piece of fabric that I got, and I love the strip part of it because you can make ribbons and trims. You can enhance this by beading it, sequins, slow stitching on there, doing all kinds of embroidery. So you can really make some fun pieces. So because I had so much of it and it was such a ridiculously good price, I was able to share that with my thrifties. And so I gave everybody a meter long piece, and it's about it's about 15 inches wide. So you easily would get a journal cover out of this plus. But then you'd have left over. It still would be long enough. Even if you use 12 inches, you would still have a good length for making strips for you doing all kinds of embellishing on all kinds of projects. So that is where, if I have that kind of pieces, I'm happy to share that, because the piece that I still have left is more than I will need, for a while. But you know, sometimes I do things in larger runs, but lately I've been trying to do smaller runs because I get bored of it really quickly. But you know, buying a big piece, having Thriftees allows me to do that, to buy, you know, look at something like this and say, okay, well, it's well worth the money. And so I can share this with the Thriftees. They can all get a really nice chunk out of this, and I get some too. And so that is kind of why I do this thrifty stuff, is so that I can share some of it. I don't have to buy all of it knowing what am I going to do with all of this. Yeah, I could probably turn around and donate it right back. But it's also nice to be able to share it with other like minds and see what they create. Although I'm waiting for everybody to create something that I can see. I don't ever get to see anything. Come on, Thrifties, step up that game. Let's get creating now. But yeah, it allows me to share these kinds of things, which is why I can go thrifting, because I don't have to worry now. I can buy the larger amounts. I can also make deals on bundles and large amounts, because that's what I like to do. And so I know that I have a base that I can come back to and say, hey, look what I got. So that is the fun part of it too. Now, I didn't get a lot of this. It was a piece of silk fabric, and it is raw silk. And so I was able to cut strips. I think they're about 40 inches long, somewhere around there. And it's about 2 inches wide, a little over 2 inches wide. You can, or Wanda can, if she wants, she can cut into it and tear it down the center. You're going to have some fraying, but it will tear up really nicely. Great for making ties. Perfect color combination and match to this. So it's something to me that I just said, oh yeah, we're starting something here. And now I see this pink in here that's coming together too. Another fabric, I can go on and on, so I got to be careful. Another fabric that I picked up was this stamped gold fabric on the navy blue that will complement her kit here very nicely. You can see the colors there. I will pack that later. Then I got, this was another piece of fabric that was a really good deal. This was a sari wrap. So I was able to give them the whole, I think it's a half length, but twice as wide here. So on the other side of the scarf was the same thing. So the other person or the other cut was exactly the same as this. But you get all of these embellishments. Like you can use it to make a whole journal if you want, or you can hoard this and use it for making embellishments. These would look really nice, again, decorating with beads and sequins and blah, blah, blah. And then there's this trim piece. So you could make this into 2 trims if you wanted. You can make it into a journal like this. So you have part of this as your journal cover. So you can introduce the 2 colors. I could go on and on. You know I can. But there again, very complimentary to this. So you could interchange some of this. There is yellow in here, so you could pull the gold in here very nicely and further enhance this with gold. You know, maybe where the yellow is, you could add gold in, giving you some ideas there, Wanda. And this also complements this teal and the gold. Like, you start to see, and I showed this the other day with Helen. Now, each thrifty pulls different things when they're gathering, you know, and they don't realize they're doing it, but this is their color palettes. And so when you start to see what's coming together, like we can cross over here, we can cross over with this blends into that. It is just so inspiring to see what people pick and how it comes together in the end. Like I can't imagine how much fun it is to have all this out on the floor when you open your box and get to go through it. Somebody's got to make a thrifty box that I can buy. So I also got these fabric swatch samples, and I got the elephant, and Wanda chose the elephant. It's got the elephants in here. It's kind of a corduroy almost type of fabric. It's an upholstery fabric, upholstery weight. And then she chose the pink. There was another color, but this is what she chose. So I offered 2 pieces of each. And so you can see that it's just slightly different. It could be linings, could be smaller journal covers, all kinds of fun things. The elephant one, the fun part about this one, and I've again told this a million times, I know I'm like a broken record today, was I bought this in one location, and I can't even remember if it was the same day or if it was a separate day, but I bought a bag of tassels. I didn't even know they were tassels when I got the bag. It just looked interesting, and so I just said, I thought they were actually shower curtain decorations. That's what my first thought was when I saw the bag, and I thought, I'll take it home and look at it. And then when I opened it up, it's this beautiful floral, and it's got a pin on the back, so it pins onto something, but it also has the hook here, or like the top of the tassel here, to actually hook it if you want to. And then it has the tassel. Now the tassel, look at this color combination. I can't make this stuff up. Like, it was just luck of the draw, 2 totally different locations, possibly 2 total different days, but within the same week, because they ended up the same week I showed this. And look at how beautiful a piece this would be, a statement piece on the outside of the journal, whether it's a tassel on the side here that you have hanging down, or to further embellish this, or however you want to use it, but just a little embellishment. So again, more color combinations. This one's different for you. This would go very nicely with the Midas kit as well. So we're flowing into something else here. She went with my gray and gray plaid sheets. I had a gray sheet. I was cutting something out. I had both of these sheets at the same time, but I was cutting something out of this one. And I thought, I should just cut up the rest of it, because that's what I like to do. And so I cut up the rest of it into journal size pieces that you can use for a liner. So you always get the threads of something else whenever they're hanging around here. So I figured somebody might want this for a masculine journal or as a base to work on. And then because this sheet happened to be there at the same time, I probably bought the 2 at the same time. This has got a teeny weeny little bit of gold in here, like kind of a yellowy color, but still great for neutral colors, for masculine journals, for bases, for lining on the inside of your journal covers. And again, wherever the sheet is large enough, I like to give the strip pieces, and they are wrapped around one of these coasters. This is how I get rid of the coasters. But when they get them, they can put them in a container. All their fabrics will line up together. Isn't that? See, I'm smart. I'm helping you doing your organizing. When I give these strips, I also pin it with a pin. All that will be done before I pack the box. I pin it with a pin, and I usually like to have some type of a dangle that is complementary to this that they can use in their journals, because I like to do that. She chose the plastic doily mix. This is for doing your distressing on coffee stained paper. If you're familiar with coffee stained paper and making doily imprints onto the paper, there's a variety of sizes, styles in here. I just cut up all of my tablecloths and gave everybody different chunks. You might have 2 pieces of the same. I just went eeny, meeny, miny until they were all gone. But there's a good mix to get you started with doing some, distressing on your coffee dyed papers. There's also strip border pieces that can be used to decorate the edge of pages, like for your coffee staining, and then spot elements that you can put on your pages as well. Blech. So she chose that. That's a nice mixed pack there. Wanda, how'd you get all this stuff in here? Oh my God. Okay. She chose I had these quilted heart pieces that I cut using my die cutting machine. I do have a video showing you how I did this. When I cut these pieces, I always cut them with book pages underneath so that the blade goes through the fabric a little bit better. There's still always that, that one little bit that hangs on that you got to cut out. But if you have the big Kick or Sizzix or, any of those bigger die cutting machines, and you have those Bigsy type dies, I'm sure it will work with your thin dyes on thinner fabric, but when you start getting into the quilted fabrics like I've got here, then you need to be working with those big Z dyes. So if you have some of those, it's great to cut these out. But I have a video on it. And so I offered a 10 pack of these. There's 5 different designs. And with it, you got the papers to go with it because, yeah, for every one of these hearts I cut out these papers too. And I have a lot. So I had to pass them on where I can. So this is just a plain quilted piece. There's nothing on it, but it's great for doing slow stitching. These are great for embroidering on. You can do some blanket stitch or, slip stitch around here to finish off the edges. You can decorate this really nicely. If you have a journal page, you can glue stitch or attach it to the corner and it becomes a little pocket. You can use it as an embellishment on the outside of your journal and further enhance it with tassels and trims and all kinds of fun things that you can make it, complementary to your journal and your journal cover and colors. So that's what I use these hearts for. They also make really pretty sachets if you want to put 2 together and stitch them. So fun, different projects. And when I showed the video, I showed you how to be able to cut out a design where you are in control of where the design is. So do go and watch that video. If you have a Sizzix machine and you have those big Z dies, I mean, you can cut frames, you can cut squares and rectangles for decorating. Be beautiful for slow stitching. So the video does explain to you how I am able to capture these little bits and pieces into the design. So this one, in this case, you get some more of those little fabric bits. This one has 2 flowers, but do check out the video and see how I did it. Now, this quilt was very fine quilted. They're all machine done, but very fine quilted pieces. So it's not going to come apart easily. These ones here are a very loose. This is like those big fluffy blankets that you get, Walmart, Kmart, all those places sell them. So they're very loosely stitched. So you would either want to tack this down to the back. It's just a plain back. Or do some further embellishing with stuff, buttons, beads, that type of thing. Because right now it's loose a little bit. It is stitched on, but it is a little bit loose here, and that's because of the type of material. You can cut these out of placemats really nicely, or pillow shams. This was a pillow sham, and this one was fun because it had a mixed patchwork on it, and I cut it upside down. So you can have some fun that way, and but great to pick up those pieces. And this is thin enough. I think you could probably use your thin dies. Try it. What's the worst thing that can happen? Try it on an ugly die that you don't like in case it bends too much or doesn't work. Then and that's how I do things. I test it. If it works, great. If it doesn't, oh well, start again. This was a placemat, and I thought it was going to come together as one piece, but then when I took it apart, there was no filling on the inside. There was just the 2 layers. I thought there was something more substantial holding it together, but it wasn't. So that's how you got your two hearts. But again, they're so cute and not much to do to enhance them further to make this fun embellishment for your projects. Blah. Words. Okay, so she got a 10 pack of those. Oops, just dropped it on the floor here. She chose some fibers in this orange ladder trim and in the purple ladder trim. I often offer fibers at different times. This was a lace piece that I picked up a little bit. It needs to be washed, Wanda, when you get this. There's a little bit of discoloring, but this will take really nice to stain. because they're little hearts. Somebody said they look like butterflies. They do, don't they? You could take 2 of them and make it into a butterfly and just put some little beading in the center. You can use it as a heart. I love this little hole there. It just says add a button, please, or add a gem or something. So lots of ways that you can use this as individual spot elements, but you can also use it as a longer trim or a full length trim going in this direction. Has a little bit of a vintage scent to it, but if you throw it in some water with some dish soap, mild dish soap, and just swish it around and let it dry somewhere, it will smell better and look nicer. And I explain that to people when I get this stuff. So they, if you're watching this for the first time, when I offer these, when I go to the thrift shop, some things I wash, some things I don't, and I have reasons for it. One, this would take more effort, and was a bigger piece before I cut it up. So it is easier for the recipient to wash it in the sink and throw it in your dish rack or wherever to dry. Than it is for me to wash the whole thing, dry it, iron it flat, and do all that for you. So some things, no, I don't. When it's a sheet and I'm going to cut it up and tear it up, yeah, I throw it in the wash right away because I throw it in as a whole piece and then I do my tearing afterwards. But this is too much work. I offered this. I only had a very small piece of this, so I said, if you want 2 squares, I'll give you 2 squares of this. But just based on how many people took it and how the fabric cut out, I was able to give everybody 3 squares, and then, or anybody who asked for it, I was able to give you 3 squares. And then this was just a little off cut at the edge of the page, but this would make a really cute pocket. I did offer some needle felting because I had got a schwack of this purple. I still have some sitting on the desk here. It's going to Caroline's box, that's why. So Caroline, you're getting a few threads with yours. But yeah, I did offer this to the Thriftees. I think only a couple of you took it, or one of you. Wanda, I've put 2 of the needles in here. They are very sharp, and I will be ordering the holders, and when I order the holders, I will send you a holder whenever I get them. I haven't ordered them yet. But it's just a way for her to get started to try needle felting, and if she likes it, or maybe she's done it before, I don't know. But I offered everybody, if they wanted to give it a try, that I would include a couple of needles with it and, see how it works. You can use these needles without the holder. It's just a little bit more awkward to hold on to. Or you could make your own type of holder by, wrapping some packing tape around it, or, there's lots of ways to make a holder. Okay, look at, I'm still going. Oh, I think I was cleaning off my desk one day. I can't remember. Wanda, what was I doing? I had a bunch of stuff and I said, yeah, whoever wants it, I'm just putting this all in one big bag. Whoever says they want it first gets it. So Wanda was first. I think Wanda lives inside my screen. I think she lives there. I think she watches the videos before they actually get up. She's very fast. I did find you 1 squirrel because she's looking for squirrels. I did find you 1 squirrel. You'll have to find it when you do. She got a piece of that book of names that I had. There's 10 pages here. So she chose the book pages. Oh, I forgot about this fabric. This was a piece of quilting fabric. I got a bunch of squares, so I offered everybody a square of it. And again, something you can either make a journal or cut it up or, enhance it further, add more. Okay, here comes lots of papery things, I think. This was a package of postcards, a mixed bag of oddball papers, something I picked up at the flea market, and I just, again, spread it out into all the different Thriftees, and I said whoever wants it, wants it. And so she took that. Oh, she took some of the orange fiber. I see it's going nicely with that too. I offered, she got the, purple wild child fibers as well. This is all buried now, but yeah, there's some purple things going on in here. This was some, oh, I love this ribbon, kind of variegated, no, more of a gradient, a gradient print of this wired ribbon. I was limited as to how much I had, so I gave everybody, I think, about 20 inches. The lots for doing pockets. It is wired edge, so again, be careful of the wires when you open the package. But yeah, it came in this mixed color like this, and in the purples. So here's more of our purples. Here's more of our oranges. You really have a nice collection of goodies here. The green with the pink is beautiful. Love that. So yeah, she chose some of that. And you don't need a lot for a pocket or a belly band. Like this will go into, you know, if you're using it in the one journal, one piece of this in a journal would be lots, because you could make 2 belly bands and then still have maybe a pocket or some other little, you know, additions to it as well. So sometimes, you know, I get exactly an amount that I can share with my thrifties and still keep a little bit for myself. I know how much I really need. And so, you know, once I have gone past that, the rest is just extra. So it's always nice to be able to hand it and offer it to my thrifties. She chose the doctor's ledger paper, and I won't show the other side of it, but it has some writing on it, so she chose a package of that. Oh, looks like you got 2 packages. Oh well. And then Wanda chose the struggling with this again. Wanda chose the shorthand pages, and I was able to find the W. Yeah, I keep wanting to call this stenographer pages. But yeah, she chose the shorthand pages, fun pages, and I was able to give her the letter W. She may use it. Some of the, this was a yearbook, a Toronto yearbook from 1925, I think, 26. I'm not going to do this one again, but this is library cards. They're printed on both sides, but you can certainly use them in your journals. Fun pieces. Love the colors here too. I see your colors coming through there. Oh, lots of goodies in here. Okay. I'm getting things mixed up a little bit. Okay, this is a collection of different pages, whether they are cookbook pages. There was some Audubon pages. There was some pictures from another book, assortment of book pages. And this was a little notes on the cathedral's notebook that I picked up a bunch of these at the at an antique store. The pictures are fun to use. I see it's gotten a little bit bent up here, but I'm sure once you've put it down somewhere flat, it'll be fine. So I got a bunch of these, so I just shared with the girls, with the thrifties. I wonder if I'll ever have a guy that's a thrifty. Never thought about that before. So she got those. She also chose the Japanese papers, and again, very complimentary to her color combinations. And like this has got that aquamarine in there and the gold, so fun to use. These can be used as like kind of a two fold up cards where you can write on the back, or you can turn them into 4 postcards. It was a Japanese well, I guess it's like a postcard book that I picked up, and so I was able to offer it for everybody. But fun. You can decorate on the back if you like as well. I think I'm running out of words. Can you believe it? Some green fibers, some brown fibers, some more of the rust with a little bit of orange fibers in here. So again, her colors are coming through with the purples. Wow, this is really fun. There's something coming up, Wanda, that I think you're going to enjoy when you look at this. You're going to enjoy some red and black fibers. And I think this is loose from something else. Oh, yeah. Squirrels. I think she has this paper, but I found the squirrel separately. She collects squirrel stuff. Oh my goodness. Wanda, there's just so much in here. Another wired edge ribbon. So yeah, again, look at the colors coming through here. Slides. I offered everybody a 6-pack of slides. These are, there's 6 actual slides, but when you, there's 12 pieces. You put 2 together and they click together to have your film inside. But these could easily be turned into specimen slides. You could also use them individually so that you have 12 of them, and you know, just back it with something else, whether it be paper or glue it right down to your journal page or cover. And so you can double your collection by using only half of it. This was another fabric. Oh, look at this. There's where your oranges and reds and rusts are coming through there, girl. Love this. This is probably my most favorite bed sheet I've ever found in my life. I did keep a good sized chunk for myself, but you know, I just shared it with the Thriftees and no one else. So it's a good size piece to make a couple of journal covers if you want, however you want to use it. But look, here comes her wired edge ribbon here. That would be nice with it. Well, not that one, but this one definitely would be nice with it. But also, again, I cut a strip. Here we got a little bit more yellow. That's cool. I cut a strip of the same sheet and offered it, and it's wrapped on a card, and it will also have a dangle attached to finish it off, to seal it. And oh my goodness, I think we're at the end now. Okay, 2 more things. Tissue paper. I offered a 10-pack of tissue paper, which includes this postage type tissue paper. I do sell this. I sell it as individual sheets for $1 or 10 sheets for $8. And they are 30 by a bunch, 30 by 24, I think. So it's a huge, huge sheet. This is a great material for collage. Oh, you will love, love, love this. I like using it for when I'm doing masterboards. This is fun to enhance a masterboard. It's also great to tear and cut into strips and pieces and use like a washi tape. So much fun out of this one sheet. So she chose a 10-pack. I had gone through all my tissues and just offered whatever I had. I think there's one piece of wallpaper on here, but everybody, it was just like, again, I just divvied them up until they were gone. There was 9, so I added this one to make it 10. Last but certainly not least, and then I got to put all this back in the box. I offered a second round of my bling boxes. They change all the time. I hand make these little boxes. They're not super strong, but they're good for holding little bits and pieces. And I fill it up with bling. I pick a little bit of every kind of color that I have, so, there's yellows and reds and blues and pinks and purples and green and gold and silver. And it could be broken jewelry. It could be beaded dangles. It could be some loose beads. It's a combination of everything. And I just fill the bag, the container up, and then that's what they get. So whatever you get, you get. I don't want to show it because some things she's got to scratch and find on her own. But then it's a fun little box that you can either keep adding more bling to it, or you can use it for other things as well. Put a label on here and you've got a little storage box. So that is it for Wanda's box. Do you think she did good? I think she did really good. I love the color combinations. It always amazes me. Each Thrifty picks different things and they see things differently through their eyes. And so, and I say, this is Wanda's color palette. And, we get caught up, and I can't stress this enough. We get caught up on things have to match. They don't have to match. They have to be things that you enjoy and things that you like. And then as you're doing things, you will find that is your color palette, and you will see how you create in these colors just by how you pull them all together. Because we can take bits and pieces from here to here to here, and they will all interconnect and be inspiring all the way around. And you can see that. You can see that right on the table just with the things that are showing. Never mind once you see it all laid out all together in one spot. So I love seeing the color palettes of each individual person come through every time. It just inspires me that much more when I see what everybody picks, you know, and everybody is different. Well, you've seen that in the boxes. You know, there is crossover. Definitely, there's going to be crossover because you guys all like the things that I'm picking for you. But there's definitely their own. They're pulling their own color combination out of it, whatever they see that they like, and so it's fun to be re-inspired right back by you. Now I just want to see the actual creativity. That's it. That's all. Wanda will be going in the mail shortly. I hope you all enjoyed this, and do let me know in the comments below. Please give us some thumbs up, some likes, leave your comments and let us know what you think of this. And if you are interested in becoming a thrifty, please do leave a message for me on the other video that is in this video. You'll find the link to it, and you just click on it and go to that video and watch it. You do have to be from Canada. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I want to wish you all a very creative day and a creative weekend coming up. We are already probably almost near Friday or Saturday. I can't remember where we are. This is going to be technically pre-recorded because there are a couple videos coming through before this one. But thank you so much again for watching. I will talk to you all soon. Bye for now.